Walk as if you did not hear, did not understand, did not see. These are words written on the door of the archive at the Prisoners Club, where testimonies of prisoners who were subjected to rape in the occupation's prisons are kept. We entered the archive with the documentation director at the Prisoners Club. We will see testimonies of prisoners who were subjected to rape and even publish them, but on one condition: the Prisoners Club will conceal the victims' names. This testimony from one of the prisoners says, "I was restrained by all 4 limbs, and the jailer inserted a stick into my anus repeatedly to the point of suffocation. The more I screamed and the more pain I felt, the more the jailer moved the stick. I now suffer from constant pain, especially when sitting, and I can only speak in a whisper. Please do not publish my name in this testimony. I do not want to file a complaint about the mentioned assaults out of fear of being assaulted again." The club has documented 10 testimonies from families whose members were imprisoned by the Israeli occupation, and this number, as the documentation director says, does not reflect reality. Very few have decided to give their testimonies, which means that the number of victims who remained silent is much greater than those who spoke in detail.
There are even details that accompany the rape itself, how they would get creative with torture, how they had a desire for it. The features of the jailer's cruelty are evident in the fact that a detainee is raped in prison as well. This is something that goes beyond description, especially since this act of rape is carried out in front of his fellow inmates in an attempt to break him as a human being, to destroy him as a person. It is something extremely heavy.
It is extremely heavy. The steps of a raped prisoner who comes to a safe place to tell his story. Victims swing between 2 fires, the fire of hiding what happened and the fire of the price they might pay if they speak out. The prisoner's memory, his alias is Ahmad, always shines with painful details. He requested that any features revealing his identity be concealed before agreeing to appear on television. I asked him, "What exactly do you remember?"
What exactly do I remember? Is there anything that can be forgotten? You can never, ever forget. I was brutally and repeatedly raped inside the dark, oppressive Israeli occupation prisons. They forcibly took me from the specific section where I was living. I didn't even truly know what was happening or why for many, many months. They cruelly stripped me of all my clothes and began violently raping me with sticks, causing immense pain and trauma. And this truly is just a very, very, very small and agonizing part of the horrific experiences. And I am deeply ashamed to even talk about it openly, especially when compared to the unspeakable atrocities that countless other innocent prisoners from Gaza tragically went through. They would often force the helpless prisoner to kneel painfully on his knees and then, in a truly barbaric act, make a large, aggressive molosser dog viciously rape him. How can anyone with a conscience ever possibly forget these absolutely horrifying and deeply scarring moments?
This is not the first time I have heard about prisoners being raped by prison dogs. I heard that from a psychiatrist. We were waiting for him to arrive at the clinic and Farouz was singing loudly in the background. These are tactics to create a calm atmosphere for those who are exhausted. The doctor himself is also late, worn out by painful stories. 4 unfortunate prisoners who were directly and brutally raped by Israeli jailers have visited this particular clinic, as well as 10 other prisoners who were tragically raped with sticks. The exhausted individuals usually sit here to feel sufficiently comfortable enough to openly talk about their experiences. What do you focus on here after listening? Me? Sometimes when you're done, when you finish, you sit and rest. Maybe we can listen to you today. Would you like to sit on the chair and let us listen to you?
I sit, but I'm not angry. As far as I know, there have been 3 to 4 cases of complete sexual rape. We're talking about one person. Some people told me things like that they even used animals. Using animals was part of it. And part of it was psychological intimidation of the prisoner, so that when he gets out, he'll tell people, and you and I will be afraid. I'm talking to you now, and honestly, I'm scared, because the things we're talking about are meant to scare us as Palestinian people. They used to scare us. I would leave the house and be afraid that maybe the Israeli army would call me and say, I want to give you to him.
Even the doctor who treats victims of rape among the prisoners is afraid. And this is a result that was noted by the researchers Ashraf Abu Aram and Itiraf al-Rimawi. Itiraf is a former prisoner and now serves as the director of the Edward Said National Conservatory of Music. In his research, he says that the Palestinian body is no longer just a victim. Rather, it has become a stage for the colonizers' display.
Turning the body into a billboard that displays signs of torture and colonial slogans with the aim of subjugating the other, the Palestinian. It's not just about the image of someone being tortured and abused, but also so that others can read, see, and feel this torture as a message intended to subjugate them as well.
The prisoner who was raped, whom we met and whose pseudonym is Ahmad, asked to accompany us at night on a car ride. He wanted to come to the Edward Said Institute to listen to music, but then he changed his mind out of fear of something he didn't tell us. He said he wishes he could forget all those details. Now I understand the words written on the archive door in the prisoners' club, which the families read before giving their testimonies. Walk as if you didn't hear, be silent as if you didn't understand, ignore as if you didn't see, and forget as if you didn't remember. This way, you will live in peace. These are recommendations for the families, but how did everyone else apply them except for the families themselves? Amid Shahadi, Al-Araby TV, Ramallah.